Sean Michael Taylor was born to Donna Jr. and Pete Taylor, who parted ways before his birth. For the first 10 years of his life, he lived in the Miami area with his mother, great-grandmother, and half-siblings Monica, Jamal, and Sasha.
That relationship he had with my mother can't compare with anyone else. I think he was more so a protector, and that started from being younger. He felt like he was the man of the house all the time. I mean, his father would always come by, see him, you know, Christmas, bring presents. He always was in his life. But that bond that he had with my mother, I think when he had to go stay with his dad, that really hurt him because he would be away from her.
When Taylor was 10, his mother battled an illness. He and his siblings were broken apart, sent to live with their respective fathers.
He kind of went into a shell. He was very quiet, you know, and not really that happy-go-lucky child that he was.
I didn't really know how long he'd be with me. I thought it was going to be a short time. I try to re-emphasize that I'm not the person that's going to try to keep you away from your mom and your brothers and sisters.
Taylor still felt responsible to be the man of the house for his mother. He planned to reunite and protect her children.
He was like, Auntie, I'm going to play football and I'm going to make money. He really wanted everyone to be together. He wanted his mom and his sisters and brothers to be back together. And I think that was his focus that drove him.
Taylor started running back in safety for Miami's Gulliver Prep. His desire and gifts were honed by his father, who put him through a rigorous daily training regimen. Workouts could happen anytime, anywhere.
We would get in front of his house, work out. His daddy would get us up, take us, trick us. Like, come on, let's go get some slushies. We get the slushies, and as soon as you get back in the car, he'll take your slushies and make you run to the house. Now you gotta run all the way home to get the slushies. Like, there's no better motivator than Pete Taylor.
I just remember stories of Sean telling me about how they used to run on the highways. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, with cars going by? He was like, yeah, man, just out there running and nighttime, morning time, before school, after school, like, just running.
Relaxation did not come easy for Taylor. He bristled at the idea of someone outworking him.
He was competitive in everything. In fishing, he was competitive. In the state championship game, the running back on the opposing team was Mr. Football for 2A, for our classification. Really? Really? And you're not going to give that to Sean?
You got to think Sean Taylor's just a little upset that Rashard Dudley got 2A Player of the Year.
Sean was trying to rip that guy's head off every single time that guy touched the ball.
You got to think Sean Taylor's just roaming that field, just trying to hunt down number 5, and every time those two helmets come together, there are words spoken. Sean Taylor nails Rashard Dudley. Sean Taylor makes him pay.
Taylor made 3 trips to the end zone to Dudley's 1 and set a state record with his 44th touchdown of the season.
Ortega, he's in trouble.
I couldn't get the ball off. I had gotten flushed, and I had to get turned around before I finally saw him. He was wide open.
Ortega throwing to the end zone, and Sean Taylor hauls it in.
The film of it is hysterical because, I mean, he is throwing an all-out tantrum.
I'm open! I'm open! Throw me!
Taylor ended his high school career a state champion, one step closer to his dream of using football stardom to reunite his mother's side of the family. During high school, Sean Taylor lived with his father in the Colonial Drive section of Miami. He attended Gulliver Prep, a prestigious private school. but potential danger was never far away.
This isn't a luxurious area. This is middle class, but at the same time, we're basically squished in between two hoods.
A hood here.
There's a hood right here, then there's a hood right here. So both hoods basically come in here, and then this is the meeting ground where the war could potentially happen. We had to find a way to basically, I guess you could say, separate ourselves from the negativity, things that was going on as far as in the streets and things of that nature, and focus just on sports and things that kept us in more of a positive direction. However, we always knew how to let it be known that we was never going to be pushovers either.
I don't know if he was 14 or 15, playing basketball on the park. Somehow it got into some sort of an altercation, and a guy pulled a gun on him, put it to his head, and it jammed. He told me he should have been gone. And when it jammed, he knocked it out and ran.
But Taylor never considered escaping the area entirely. Miami was his home. It would also be his college.
When I first saw him, I was like, wow, you know, a beast. You didn't have to touch that kid, man. He knew how to play the game.
He's a man amongst boys. He's running interceptions back. He's running punts back. He was doing so much.
Number 26 shows you why he's the #1 safety in the country.
Definitely one of my favorite plays was against Florida State. PK Sam caught a pass. He just knocked him flat on his ass. Made him do like a 360.
His junior season, Taylor intercepted 10 passes to lead the nation. He returned 3 for touchdowns.
It's just like tackle after tackle, interception after interception. He just went from here and he just blew up.
The Washington Redskins select Sean Taylor, safety, University of Miami.
Taylor kept his time in front of cameras to game days. In his preseason debut, he ended his first series with an interception.
First game, NFL, he was the best player on the field, and you could see it.
There is Sean Taylor. We talked about this rookie. What a splash he's already made.
I said, all right, we got ourselves a Hall of Fame Pro Bowl player here.
That's his 4th takeaway in 2 1/4 games for the Redskins.
Everybody could see it. Even though all us are top-flight athletes, it was something different about him, and it separated him from the rest of us.
We were playing against Cincinnati. We talked about this play all week, and we were like, Sean, you're gonna go out there under Chad Johnson, make him throw it high, and I was gonna get to come over the top and be the hero. And he jumps up and picks it off.
Intercepted by the rookie Sean Taylor.
You drew it up to be a good play, and he made it a great play. He made it a turnover. He made it something mere mortals can't do.
God made certain people to play football for sure. He was one of them.
But Taylor was not made to be away from home for long.
He would always want to win because I think they had the day off on Monday, and if you win, you'd get Tuesday off. So he knew Sunday night or whatever, out of there, and try to catch a flight back Tuesday night. So he'd go home even if it was for a day.
Even the roots Taylor put down in Washington had Miami ties. Until he found a home, he stayed with college teammate Clinton Portis, and he continued courting Hurricane soccer player Jackie Garcia.
He would come and hang out at night, but then we had curfew and all that stuff, so you can't really hang out past a certain time. So then if I had to, I think we had to be up at 7 or something. He would come back at 5 because he's like, oh, well, 5, it's not really you're breaking the rule. You can just be up early, It's so I would wake up really early and we would hang out, in the lobby downstairs.
He would be at 8 o'clock workout group and lead the workout group I know he didn't get no sleep. And now you back in time for 8 o'clock workouts, and he the first one across the line, and then you will find out later that day, well, he worked out at 9 and he worked out with the 10 o'clock group. So you're like, what is he doing? And he probably get 3 workouts in when I couldn't survive one.
When I first got here in 05, I used to see this BMW sitting in the parking lot all the time. And I remember asking Porter, like, who car is that? He like, oh, that's Sean's. And he giggled about it. And so I'm like, why is this car here every day? And he like, oh, Sean, man, he normally runs home. So, you know, I'm sitting here like, what? I mean, one day I caught him. I'm leaving out late, and I see him just running down the street. Those are things that now you look back at when we played the game, never got tired. That's why, because he put in the work behind closed doors that a lot of guys don't do.
We'd be up there in the office and he'd go, look at that. And it'd be Sean before practice, running 100-yard striders on the field. None of the coaches told him to do that. Just in his mind, that was something he felt like he should do.
What a big guy for a safety. He can cover, and oh, can he hit. What a display!
I think he loved that part of it, but it was more than just a big head. He had unusual instincts for where the ball was going to be. I remember we're at Philadelphia. We had to win the game to get in the playoffs. And all of a sudden, late in the game, there goes the ball flying around. Who comes up with it? Sean.
It's loose on the ground. 2 men, big pile up for it. Picked up by the Redskins. Sean Taylor off to the races.
He had a knack for just big plays.
He dives in for the touchdown, Redskins.
Every game, he'd do something to let you know that he wasn't from this planet and all of us were.
Feel great. We in Florida. Can't get no better. It's not a big game. It's just a game.
And off to Williams. Into the line of scrimmage and taken down. Fumble on the play. The Redskins say they've got it. Marcus Washington loses it. Sean Taylor's got it. And he's off to the races again. Sean Taylor. He does it again. How about that?
That was probably one of the best games that you see the playmaker in him and you see the nastiness in him.
Sean Taylor and Michael Pittman squaring off.
What you doing? Both of you. Look at my face.
And he's gone. And you're gone. You're gone.
I remember arguing, you know, we in the ref face. No, he didn't do it, you know. And we go back and watch film. And you just see big as day, the spit glob come out.
The word we got is he spit in Pittman's face.
He did it. I mean, what else you want me to say?
You can't spit in anybody's face. Spit at him. Okay, all right, you got it.
Taylor let his emotions get the better of him.
Small. Little baby. She'll grow.
Yeah, she will.
He was very, very protective of her. Didn't want you to touch her, kiss her. You had to have blankets on. I used to tell him, boy, I have about 2 children. Get out my face.
There we go. Come on, a nice print for Daddy and Mommy. Come on.
He had told me that he was going to put the fingerprints of the baby on his shirt.
How does that ink print stuff come off?
So I said, hey, did you put the fingerprints of the baby on his chest? He lifts up the shirt, and there's 2 fingerprints on his chest.
This is your official I'm a Dad bracelet. Your daddy's worried about
Congratulations.
Thank you, Alice.
Your feet.
That was a proud moment because he was happy, and he was able to walk away and say, I have something to do now. I have to take care of this kid, and I have a reason to do what's right.
That's what I'm talking about.
After that, he grew up. A lot of things that he did in his younger years, he cut out, like going out, you know, hanging with certain people and doing certain things. After that event, he just stuck to his family, his daughter, and football.
Between the white lines, Taylor was thriving.
It's a jump ball. John Taylor there. He makes the interception. Sean Taylor, the interception.
In 2006, he earned his first trip to the Pro Bowl and delivered the hit heard round the world.
That pretty much translates in every language, doesn't it? Yes, it does.
By 2007, Sean Taylor had accomplished his goal of using football to reunite his mother's side of the family. After the birth of baby Jackie, he considered moving to Virginia full-time with his fiancée and daughter. Taylor's coaches also had a move in mind for him, from strong to free safety.
It took a while for me to convince him to line up that deep
but the time and distance that he could cover was amazing.
He was everywhere. Like, it didn't matter. Short, long, medium, run, pass. He was there. You would think it was 11 Sean Taylors, and there was only one.
You know what? He intercepted Brett Favre. Had 2 that day. He dropped 3 other ones. He should have had 5 that day.
Brett was looking him off to the last moment and slinging it to the next sideline. Sean would turn around and go beeline.
And watch Sean Taylor. When Brett Favre turned that one loose, it looked like it was going to be an easy completion and probably a touchdown.
We weren't even halfway through the year. He had 5 interceptions already.
But the best stretch of Taylor's career would come to an abrupt end.
Sean Taylor limping off the field.
He's got something going on. He's not healthy at this stage of the season right now.
The same day as his injury, Taylor's mother reported an attempted burglary at the family's Miami home.
I was in the training room. He was in the training room. He's like, hey, somebody tried to break into my house. I'm like, dang, you know? And he's like, man, they lucky I wasn't there. And he's like, man, my kid and my girl be there, man. I don't want them, somebody's doing this to me.
Sean Taylor's home has been broken into. Someone pried open a window, rifled through his drawers, and tried to get into his safe in his bedroom.
We weren't allowed to go back to the house. I mean, if somebody breaks into your house, you don't know what happened. It's almost like your privacy's been invaded, so I think the best thing to do is not go back.
While his teammates traveled to Tampa, an injured Taylor flew to Miami to check on his home and family.
We woke up that day and we went on a bike ride, and then that night we all went back and I cooked, and we spoke about that we were gonna, move to Virginia, and we were gonna start he called it our niche there, and it was like the sense of peace inside of him, it was just I remember going to sleep that night and being like, God, if it could just be like this every day, wow, my life is gonna be amazing.
Some jolting news off the field on Monday. Redskins safety Sean Taylor in critical condition after he was shot in his Florida home early Monday morning. Police officers were dispatched to Taylor's Miami area home at 1:45 a.m., and Taylor was later airlifted to a local hospital.
He was home with his girlfriend, Jackie Garcia, and their 18-month-old daughter. They heard noise in the living room, were awakened, got up. Sean locked the bedroom door, went under his bed for a small machete that he keeps under there. By the time he got to the bedroom door, it was burst open, and 2 shots were fired. One hit him in the upper leg, and one hit the wall. He was bleeding profusely from the leg. Apparently, his femoral artery was hit, and he was bleeding out.
Although, there were reports saying that, he was doing better, it didn't look good at all. They were giving him a blood transfusion, and around the bed they had sheets, and as the blood, they put it in, it was just coming out.
I remember going back to the room and thinking about if we make it through the night, that everything gonna be okay. And I dozed off, and I woke up to banging on the door. It was like boom, 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 boom. And I remember opening my eyes, and I looked at the window. And when I looked at the window, it was still dark out.
And I banged on the door, and I could hear him start crying immediately. And he opened the door. I was in tears, and it was terrible.
It was the doctor, Pete, and I. He said if the bullet would have went in 1/8 of an inch, up, down, left, or right, there would be no more in the flesh wound. And he said Sean was dead when he got here. And he said that he never seen a man fight for his life as hard as he did.
In the days after Sean Taylor's death, his team grappled with how to spend a season and a lifetime without him.
Before we got ready to play that Sunday game, we said, hey, nobody in this room will ever be able to substitute or replace him as a player. We need to play one play for him.
Washington has only 10 players on defense. Pete Dowdy is the guy who's expected to replace Sean Taylor in the lineup. He's on the sideline. Edwards on a handoff to Fred Jackson, cutting to the outside. Jackson turns the corner and hit. And now Reed Dowdy will come on.
I think we gave up a 50-yard run, and it didn't matter. This was for Sean.
There were assumptions made about how he brought this on himself. Just weeks before, there had been a birthday party at Taylor's house for his sister, and it was her friends from Fort Myers who had come to clean the pool deck. Sean Taylor had paid one of the guys who ended up being involved in this $300. Other guys had got access to the house. They saw how generous he was with his money. He gave bags of money to his sister and brother in front of his friends. And it was that generosity that ended up inviting these scoundrels from Fort Myers to come and do what they did.
What should Sean Taylor's legacy look like? In life, he never gave the outside world a full picture of the man he was. Is it even possible to capture his memory in one image?
There's not a day I take that jersey off of a hanger and I don't think about it. People ask me, why am I wearing number 21 to practice? Every day I wear it, it sparks up a conversation about him. For as long as I play, that's what I care about.
There's not a single day that go by that you can't come up with a memory of Sean and put you in a better mood.
Sean's always with me. He's looking over my shoulder at all times to make sure everything is right. So I put that crystal monument behind me that he has my back.
I'm coaching my 10-year-old grandson. I put him playing corner, and he goes, I don't want to play corner. And I went, Ty, I says, what do you want to play? And he goes, I want to play safety. I'm Sean Taylor. He goes like that.
To me and to like his daughter, like he was a living hero. He left himself in her. He was such an amazing person outside of his career that a lot of people didn't get to see. He would have been an amazing father.